What's up, everybody? Especially you, my brother Junior. How's it? How's it? How's it? This is Zaldi. Welcome back to Talking Story about smoking, session 13. Oh, mean the meaning. Last sesh was about reformation, reforming through reframing. Move your hands in front of you like you're holding one balloon the size of a bowling ball and stuff session 12 into it. Grab your back scratcher from the tropical itch and scooch that ball to the left and down. Hope you had fun finding your own internal representations and reframing. This is perfect for both you and I. The potential is unlimited. Those two tools put so much things in target. Your playing field just went cray cray. You can look at everything now and say, hey, I can use those too. Reformation. So, from last session, we're going to have a little more fun with what is going on. The internal representations. That is what drives how we behave. Not sometimes, but pretty much all the time. So, when something happened, we applied meaning to them. So, like if X happens, then we apply Y. You see, X happened and then you assume Y. Your brain works that way. It's called cognitive thinking. Your brain is so complex and efficient. It's sometimes too efficient. Once you believe something, you observe it and see it is true, and then confirms its trueness. It takes in information and does one of three things or a combo. Number one, it generalizes information. Like when you tried frog legs, you go, oh, tastes like chicken. You generalized it. It distorts it. Like when I drank the fireball, I think about it, my brain distorts it. I'm thinking, oh, I drink this fireball. Tomorrow morning, gonna be rough. Because I know the thing would spin my head, blah, blah, blah. I already distorted it. So I kind of steer clear away from it. But really, does that make me, is that true? I distorted it in my head. Okay. And the third one, deletion. So if someone says something that you know is completely wrong, and that person could not let you correct them and was protecting their ego, you just say in your head, bruh, he's just plain BS. Baga is blowing smoke up my ass. I'm going to delete almost all the crap he going to say because he's just a plain dumbass. He just trying to make Tantaran, Mr. Show Off. Another guy saying, got in the barrel for 2 minutes? Nobody does that. Not even Kelly Slater in his own man-made surf pool, which, by the way, is one of the most perfect waves I have ever seen. So then you think in your head to the guy, yeah, whatever. I'm going to delete half the stuff he's saying. It's going to be one uphill battle, almost like going for so and so for giving me real solutions. You know, I'm not going to say any names, but you kind of pretty much deleted half the stuff they said because that's what the brain does. You have a dozen examples in your head of those three buckets: generalization, distortion, and deletion. All of those examples are your algorithm of how you organize data in your head and gives you meaning. Here is the drawback to that. What if the truth you have been generalizing this whole time wasn't really the truth? You just took the quick and dirty process and dumped that information into one of those three buckets. Welcome to session 13. Oh, mean the meaning. You begin to practice the same thing and know what they say. Practice makes permanent. In NLP, it is called anchoring. You're letting that anchor sink deeper and deeper, like a spear or a hook going deeper to the fish. Easy going in, but because of the barbs, that fish is barbied. The only way to get that spear out is to push that spear all the way through or force them and rip them out that flesh. Uncle Carr used NLP and used a tight shoe as an example of demonstrating the cause and effect of smoking. He used the example of the tight shoe. You look here what he said. Get off your ass and read the book. Basically, he talks about a shoe you have on and it loosens every time you smoke a cigarette. As soon as you smoke that cigarette, the shoe goes back on. But this time, because you smoke, it got a little smaller. So when you put that shoe back on, feel a little bit more tight. Then you cannot wait to have a cigarette to remove that shoe. But when you remove them, the thing got smaller again as you puffed away. And when we put the shoe back on, the bugger is tighter than the last time. Get plenty examples you can see that you can use. Like one noose around your head, getting more strands on it every time you take them off. Or one wetsuit that grew 1 more millimeter when you went go puff puff. As soon as you pull, you gotta put them back on, but this time more tight. Maybe you might be able to associate it like with one ambulance siren. When you go puff puff, the siren stop. Except when you puff puff, the siren come back on with the volume up 1 more decibel. And the only way to cure it is for another cigarette. You see the loop? Well, we'll get into that. Remember, you took college courses. You took some courses in computer programming. People are like sophisticated computers. They get the hardware side and the software side. Now, I know for sure Uncle Carr never used hardware to make any kind with me. For example, I give an example though of hardware. I tried Chantix one time. That is a hardware manipulation. That is a prescription drug for smoking. I never go doctor to get that prescription, so don't ask me how I got it, but I took them. When I took that thing, about 2 days later, it was messing with my head. I know you're not supposed to smoke when you're taking that Chantix, but I did anyway. When I was on that Chantix, I was starting to get weird dreams. Then I remember taking a puff of cigarette and it didn't give me the sensation I know and loved and craved when taking a puff. I freaked out. As soon as that happened, I immediately stopped Chantix. That thing is so wrong in so many ways. Those mind tricks made me feel invaded. But Uncle Carr, he's fancy. He started playing with my software using NLP. He never even have a voice behind the words. It was just reading them. Till today, I have no idea of his voice, what it sounds like. That damn book robbed me. Just those words robbed me of smoking till the age of 85 like Nana. And she still lived till 103. So you know how software programming works. Remember the one-liner in Bash? The do while loop. While true, do. Echo, puff, puff. Done. Basically, that is what I was doing. While true, do. ... What is true? Oh, the true is I'm going through withdrawal pain. So, while true, I'm going through withdrawal pain. What does the next line say? Echo, puff, puff. So that means I wouldn't go puff, puff. My program was puff, puff. Then done. So I kept doing that loop. It kept looping. My brain just went generalized. Done. I go through withdrawal pains. Go puff, puff. Done. Simple, but brain simplified it. That just so on a computer, the program would just print puff, puff until I press Control Z. It's the same thing. I got caught in that programming loop. That's exactly that. Until I press submit, that would be what I did every single time. Now, All I see is puff puff on my screen. Damn, that simplifies all those hours and money we spent smoking like them Pavlov dogs. You remember them Pavlov dogs? They was in one room, and every time Pavlov would feed the dogs, he would ring the bell. Those dogs would salivate and eat the food. Eventually, he would just ring the bell, and they would automatically start salivating. They get those same 3 buckets, those dogs. We're no different. You know how bust up we are? Let's kick this door open. Yeah. Right now we talked about smoking. Yeah. What about porn? King Herod died of gangrene of genitalia that engendered worms. What the hell is that? As far as I know, that don't sound right. He got Barbied and was in a do-while loop until he died. Let's walk around and look at all the BS in our lives. What the hell are you doing with drinking? Or eating too much, like gluttony? Ooh, here we go. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, anime. But I know you don't use drugs. But I know you know someone close who does. Have him listen to this crap so he can wise the F up. I don't know if you got into it, but I hear gaming, like video games, can Barbie you too. Another one comes to mind, which I never got into, but what about virtual reality? I watched the documentary about these kind video games, TikTok, social media, YouTube stuff. They said all of them want one thing: your time and attention. The only thing that really competes with them is sleep. You understand that the more time you in it, the more you're getting Barbied. Whatever that is your God. Whatever they say becomes truer and truer. They have software programmed you. That stuff is all the same. They want your true. They define true. Now, what is the so what of all this and smoking? The spot where the true is all false? That is the Boolean answer. The fantastic thing is the brain can recognize when it smells BS and knows how to flip the bit from on to off. Withdrawal pain? No more pain. It is a self-licking ice cream. It created its own itch and worsens the stress, not relieves it. Yeah, when that siren go off in your head just to hear that siren louder. So no, that's not true. You don't get withdrawal pains. What about relieving stress? It is the Trojan horse. Remember that story about Troy? How the Greeks gave the city a present shaped like a giant wooden horse as an offering to gods? The people of Troy accepted the horse and didn't know that hidden inside was the Greek soldiers and waited until dark, opened the gates, and they took over the city of Troy. That is what smoking is. It's not relieving stress. It pretends to relieve stress. But really, that's another Barbie going deeper. Finally, cures boredom. For real, cures boredom. Now that I quit smoking, I realize that smoking is the real boring crap. Why? Because you take a smoke break to take a break from what you really need to get done. You say, let me take a quick break and I come back ready for work and I can slam. Or, let me take a quick smoke break and then I'm going, ready to go back to that hike. For real? That sounds so foolish. Because that cigarette fooled you. Do you surf so you can enjoy that cigarette? Do you have sex just so you can have that stogie? That's like saying, I go hiking hard because that cigarette gonna taste better at the end. That's so porgy. I go surfing because I love surfing. Never do I surf so I can toke down that tailpipe. Yet, I look forward to that cigarette after that last surf session. I want a natural high. I just go back surfing. Not so I can smoke. I gotta stop surfing to go smoke? That is porgy. All your lame excuses withdraw pain, relieve stress, cures boredom, are just Trojan horses, getting their barbs deeper and deeper into you. Now that we reframe the situation, we can clearly and logically see true. Because we used to see as true is now false. So what's the new true? ZOP. Z0PP. What is Z0PP? ZOP. That's the zero product property. How do you bring any value, whether small or large, to a workable size like the quadratic equation? You make them equal to 0. So if the quadratic equation x parentheses x plus 3 parentheses x minus 4, we split it and equate it to 0. So x plus 3 equals 0 and x minus 4 equals 0. Now x is negative 3 and x is 4. By taking the equation and equaling it to 0. That's what we're doing with our lame-ass excuses. We zopping them, zop. We're applying the zero property rule. Whew. Everything Carr said that were Barbies, maybe even his hypnotherapist was the one talking about these Barbies. Withdrawal pain, stress reliever, and boredom cure are able and potential to be equal to 0. Because they are false. You and I can mentally zop it. I thought about zip, zap, but they used it already. Zop is actually zop with that 0 in it. That's like fancy, Filipino fancy. How do I know the value is false and able to go 0? Carr recommends the most brilliant thing. What is it? Go check them. Go check them, go. Notice how you and others are when you smoke or when others around you smoke. Are you really curing withdrawal pains? Are they really curing stress? Have you really cured boredom when you smoke? Now, you're realizing that when you do smoke, then barbs are getting deeper. The wetsuit just got thicker. Wow. You are now experiencing a shift. Your computer bit is starting to go from 1 to 0. Don't quit smoking yet. We have to read through these sessions, and I plead for you not to quit just yet. Like I said before, you have personal stories running in your head. Take the time to allow those stories to be clear visually, audibly, and emotionally. Jeez, brother, look at you. You made me go friggin' 20 minutes on this one. Of course, it's because I'm here for you. I need to bring the session to a close. So I have so much other sessions besides this smoking sessions, and would love to start other sessions besides this talking story about smoking. And I want to let you know how we can put a pep to my step. Bust out that tropical itch back scratcher and whip that button right on that screen. buymeacoffee.com/surf4snow. It's printed on the screen. And I'll go get some coffee and push on. Faster. The next one is session 14, Illusional Delusions. Now we have a few tools in the shed that we have the capacity to build a castle. This session is going to use what we went over to continue clearing the field for a new foundation. Chee-hoo! So with that, my brother Junior, ahui ho. Kidding.